Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Nature can be a gift in many things. Some include the mountains and the oceans. Now, some people see the dangers that lie underneath, whereas other thrill seekers, like me and my family, attempt to challenge it and conquer it. Now, over here, I have my brother's first hand-shaped board. It has an outing of fiberglass and a base of foam. Pretty good first board, if you ask me. Surfing has gone through many advancements and technological innovations to become what it is today. I'd like to speak about the brief discovery and innovations and changes made in the surfboards, as well as the advancements that allow it to be safer and more approachable, as well as the different shapes and sizes that affect the way the board rides on the wave. The first solid board was discovered in 1779 Hawaii. They were 15 to 20 feet tall and can range up to 200 pounds. It wasn't until 1907 that George Freeth created the first 8-foot board by slicing it in half. He was later followed by Tom Blake in 1926. He created the first hollow board with a different wood material that made it much more lighter and nimble. He was followed by a Hawaiian group that then thinned the rails and shortened the nose and tail of it to make it more maneuverable on the wave. It wasn't until the 1940s that Bob Simmons created the first curved rocker surfboard. He was followed by George Greenough in the 1960s, who created the first single fin. Before the single fin, they had little nubs that didn't really act as much and didn't serve much purpose. George was followed by Mark Richards in 1978, who created the twin setup. The twin setup was identical symmetrical fins on both sides that was allowed to give the surfer speed. He was followed by Simon Anderson in 1980 with a thruster. Now this was the same as the fish, but an extra small fin in the back that acted as a speed fin. It wasn't until the 1950s that they started using fiberglass on the boards that made it more lighter and faster on the wave. Laird Hamilton was the first to innovate the discovery of inflatable vests. His idea was to have a solid body inflatable vest, although it didn't work too well. It wasn't until Shane Dorian came around and he invented the CO2 cartridges, which is carbon dioxide cartridges that would be pullable on a vest and inflate the surfer to the top of the surface. Artificial wave pools were the next thing that innovated the surf community. The first recognizable wave pool was in 1969 in Arizona. They had 3-foot waves that could last up to 20 seconds. Now fast forward that 50 years, Kelly Slater, an 11-time world champion, is unveiling his 10-foot barrels that will last up to 45 seconds long. Now this allowed surfers to get much better, much faster, with perfect waves in their backyard where there'd never be before. The differences in between the boards are basically in 2 categories. You have a long board and a short board. The long board is very big and has its weight distributed from 8 to 10 feet typically, and is meant to be ridden in the wave easily with a lot less energy consumed. The short board is on the other side, where lots of energy is put in, although when you enter the wave, you're able to ride it much better because you have a shorter board that is more maneuverable. The differences in the sizes can be immense. 2 inches can make a big difference, as well as the different fin setup. The brief discovery that I've explained will show that more advancements will come to surfing as time comes and the culture evolves, as well as us. From 1779 to 2021, technology will never stop occurring. Surfing will continue to advance and to evolve, whether we like it or not, in different ways as people's perspectives continue to open up with the creativity and the differences they make on the boards.